some of the, obviously, the work we've done with our clients, we've given them the building blocks of Teams, and it's quite interesting to look at how some of those clients have then gone on to build on that. So one particular client has a lot of contractors based in other countries, but those contractors need to collaborate on projects for that client. So quite often those external people, they are actually added as a guest into the client's Teams. So it's not just for internal staff. So they'll be able to see those teams, the channels that sit beneath the teams, and they'll be able to have access to the files in there. So it has really unlocked proper collaboration for that client.
I think that's where it kind of comes into its own, isn't it? That, you know, we've talked about the power of that communication, real-time collaboration. That's powerful on its own internally, but then when you take that beyond in a secure, controlled manner, you know, it's like you said, we've got various clients that kind of really rely on that. They work with so many external parties where it makes working with them while controlling that data as well, but it makes working with them a breeze. And I think this is the thing with Teams and Microsoft 365 in general, is that kind of everybody recognises it, everyone's kind of used it before, and it's kind of, you know, it makes sense, everything's where you would expect it. So you do find a lot of other businesses are also using it, so it's quite easy to you know, work together on those platforms.
And one other pretty cool example of one of our larger clients who we did a full migration from moving all their files from an on-premise server up to SharePoint. They saw the potential of what's possible in there, and they wanted a process to approve invoices. It's a common process, happens at many companies. Someone in the finance department gets an invoice on the desk and somebody needs to approve the payment of that. What they did, they set up their own automation basically. They said, when somebody saves an invoice in this folder, I want it to send a message to a particular person in Teams telling them there is a new invoice there waiting for approval. It will allow the user to click an approve or deny button from within Teams, and when they approve it, that invoice file is automatically moved to another folder which is ready for payment. So the client did probably 90% of that on their own. We provided guidance along the way, telling them, probably advising the best way to achieve what they want, but they set up most of that themselves, and that just shows what's possible. And it has saved, I think it's safe to say, it saved that client a lot of time with things going backwards and being emailed backwards and forth in one department.
Well, I'll give you another example where we had a client who was taking or collecting information from their customers, where their old method was to send out a PDF via email, and that was kind of filled in and then scanned back and sent into a mailbox. Yes, yeah. So the replacement for that, and again, this was kind of where we're here to help, was you know, and it was only a quick passing comment of surely there's a better way. Well, there is. So this was sort of using Microsoft Forms to, you know, send out a very quick link. They fill out the information, it then collects the results, no scanning, no messing about. It was very, very easy. They're very happy with that, and I think you know, they came back and said, well, we'd like to sort of limit that and have different versions for different sets of customers.
Yeah, I think many companies will have these really laborious processes, and they probably think there must be a better way of doing this. And yeah, as we proved, there is quite often.
And if you think of how much time was saved for both our customer and their customers in that whole process, that was something that was, you know, maybe an hour or two to set up, or even less than that. The time saved was enormous.
And all of that automation side, it's all out of the box. It's there, the tools are there, waiting for you to make use of them. I think most of our clients on 365, they're on Microsoft Business Premium licenses. So that's got everything you need to be able to do that. We can guide those clients to get the best use out of those tools.
So it's a really powerful platform.
Yeah. And so I think it's safe to say we're all fans of Teams.
We are massive fan.
Yeah. I'd be lost without it.
Yeah, so hopefully after hearing all that, people will be able to see the potential of Teams. And yeah, we're obviously on hand to provide guidance to our existing clients and any new clients.